Hey guys, hope you're having a great day wherever you are in the world. Today's video I want to talk on how to prepare for a marathon. Very easy to talk about, much more difficult to plan and prepare for. I've been competing in that particular event since 2002. I ran my first marathon at the 2002 New York City Marathon as a part of a Armed Forces lung cancer charity team. And never in my wildest dreams would I have ever expected to run a marathon, but it turned out to be my best event, my most favorite event out of all the different race distances. But how to prepare for a marathon definitely takes patience and persistent training. You want to be able to get out the door, continue to put in that necessary mileage and build your endurance and your strength up so that you can prepare for your marathon event as effectively as you possibly can. The marathon will ask a lot out of you, both mentally and physically. I think mentally even more so than the physical aspect of your preparation. I think that marathon success definitely comes about with your mental training, your mindset, your focus, your drive, your willingness to get out the door and put in the miles, regardless of what the weather conditions are like. Those are the kinds of traits that, and your work ethic that you have to rely on, especially if you're somebody like myself who doesn't have a lot of talent, who felt that, in my case, I knew I didn't really have a lot of overall leg speed, but I continued to train months and years on end, persistently and consistently for long periods of time to get to a point where I was able to run a 2:19 marathon. I started off in high school. Just to give you a little background of my background, I ran the mile for the first time as a freshman in high school in 5 minutes and 30 seconds. I ran the 2 mile in 11 minutes and 30 seconds. And, it from 1992, when I first started running, up until 2007, when I ran that 2:19 marathon, it took from 1992 all the way to 2007 to be able to break a 2:20 marathon. So none of this happens overnight. So my best advice for you in how to prepare for a marathon is to not beat yourself up. Get out the door, put in the heavy work, enjoy the sport. Don't be in a rush. We're all very effective. We're all very driven people as athletes. We want results. We want to see the hard work that we're putting in. We want to see the benefit of that hard work. And we want to be able to get out the door and to sustain pace for the entire marathon distance and enjoy it and get the types of times that we're going for. So I think the biggest mistake that a lot of athletes make in their own preparation for the marathon is they want quick results. And I'm guilty of it too. We continue to push the body on a physical aspect of training, and there's a lot of things that go into marathoning that you have to be willing to endure. And the physiological benefits of what you're doing on the track and what you're doing on the roads, those changes take time for your body for you to actually see those results come about. And it is about progression. The workouts you're doing today, the benefits of those workouts that you're doing today, you're going to see weeks from now. It's not going to happen overnight. It's like somebody, planting a seed and expecting an oak tree the very next day. It doesn't work that way, especially with the marathon distance. In terms of preparing for the marathon, outside of the patience aspect, you want to continue to focus on whatever pace you want to hold for the marathon distance, whether it's three minutes per kilometer or 7 minutes per mile for the entire distance, and to be able to sustain that pace, not for a portion of the distance, but the entire race, and to get to the finish line where you're in that flow state where the effort is just smooth, you feel phenomenal, you're passing runners, you're speeding up when everybody else is slowing down. All of that comes into play when you have, one, trained faster than you're trying to race for the distance. You've spent time training at your VO2 Max, which I've talked about in a lot of my other videos, where you're training at closer to your maximum heart rate, and you're training at speeds that are so fast that you can't clear lactic acid faster than it's building up. And yes, we can only spend from a few seconds to only a few minutes training at that type of intensity, but it's very critical to train at that intensity and at that heart rate because you're running so much faster than your race pace. So if you're, examples of VO2 max workouts are where you're running more toward your like 3K to 5K race pace or your 3K to 10K race pace. Speeds where, you're doing repeat quarters, repeat 200 meters, repeat Ks on the track with minimal rest, and you're running much, much faster than you're trying to race at. You want to spend those seconds to a few minutes running at those paces because it's going to make race pace, your marathon race pace, feel much more in control. And again, that's kind of like the big focus of marathon training, where you want to train below race pace and above race pace, where you're running very, very easy so you can recover from the real hard anaerobic workouts that you're doing. And I think also to prepare well for the marathon and to get the best results, you really have to pay attention to your recovery and backing off on those recovery days and allowing yourself time to just jog, go out and take the watch off. Your race course, you've run your courses around your neighborhoods or where you live so many times that you don't need to focus so much on, especially on your easy days, what kilometer pace am I hitting? Or, well, I'm at this pace per mile, I need to be running at this pace per mile. It's an easy day. So take the pressure off yourself. Focus on the hard track sessions where you need to be doing those hard 1K reps, those 2 mile and 1 mile repetitions on the track, or repeat 800 meters. Or you're out on the roads doing fartleks where you're speeding up and slowing down, speeding up and slowing down. Focus on putting the stress on yourself on those days. But on your easy days, just relax, allow yourself time to back off and just chill out and allow that time that your body desperately needs to recover from those hard anaerobic workouts that you're doing. Those are the big reasons why I was able to lower my marathon from 2 hours, 43 minutes and 36 seconds to 2 hours, 19 minutes and 35 seconds. It didn't happen overnight. I had a lot of failures along the way, and that's another tip for you in terms of how to prepare for a marathon is expect it to be a challenge. You're training for a marathon. It's one of the longest race distances that you can prepare for. There's a lot that goes into it. You're not training for a mile or 2 mile on the track like you were in high school if you ran track and field in high school. When I was training for the mile and the 2 mile in high school, it was totally different in terms of volume and mileage and the type of work ethic that I had to have to prepare well for the marathon. I lived pretty much like a monk from 1992 up until about 2017. I retired from the sport in 2018, and I still run, but I don't race professionally or competitively anymore. But I definitely focus now on creating content, whether video content or writing posts on RunDreamAchieve.com. I've also created training programs and running courses, and I'll leave links here along the video regarding those. There's some resources on RunDreamAchieve.com where if you're aiming for the marathon or you're training for a 5K or 10K or a half marathon, definitely check out the running courses and training programs there. I've created specifically for athletes that are trying to run their given event in a specific time. I think it's really important that to prepare well for the marathon, especially if you have a time goal in mind, you want to really focus in on what is that goal pace and how can I make that race pace feel like more of a moderate effort rather than an all-out effort. Why do marathoners, the great Kenyan athletes and Ethiopians and other top American athletes, why do they make the marathon distance look so easy? Why can you watch them on TV or see them in other races, or even you've been in other races with them, and you see them take off, and you can hold with them for a little bit, but you can't sustain the pace for the entire race? What is going on? How are they doing it, and why aren't you doing it? So the reason why they can do what they do is, yes, they do have some form of talent, but they've also spent decades. This is the part where so many athletes miss. They see the event, they see the fast times, they see the crazy paces that these athletes are holding, but they don't see the process. They don't see those early morning 20-mile long runs, or the track sessions in the heat, or the road work during the winter months when it's blizzard conditions out. Those athletes are out there putting in the work. And you don't have to be an elite athlete. It takes an enormous amount of time and effort to be able to get to that level. It took me pretty much my entire career to run just a 219. And I don't say just a 219 is fast regardless if you're Ethiopian or Kenyan regardless, but compared to somebody that's run a 203 or a 204, yes, a 219 marathon would be more of like a moderate effort for them. Maybe not even a moderate effort. So, but it takes time. You can't be in a rush. You can't expect, you don't want to beat yourself up over preparing for a marathon. You want to enjoy the sport. Don't lose enthusiasm for what you're doing. Know that it's tough. The best athletes that I've trained with over the years continue to put in the work, whether they fail or whether they succeed. And you have to have that mindset. If you want to prepare well for the marathon, you want to also spend time training at a relaxed pace and an easy pace, and just running easy mileage and building up your base and building up your endurance. A lot of times, if your goal is just to run a marathon and you're not really going after a specific time and you just want to start and finish a marathon, you can prepare well for a marathon just by running easy mileage, maybe just doing some light strides twice a week on top of building up your mileage. I believe in the 16-week training program, and most of my training programs and the running courses that I've created on RunDreamAchieve.com, they're all 16-week training programs in terms of the running courses. Now, I do have training programs that are built for 5K to marathon athletes that are anywhere from 4 weeks in length all the way up to 16 weeks in length. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely check out the training programs. The running courses that I've created are more for athletes that are aiming for specific times for half marathon distances to the marathon distance, and they're for very, very competitive athletes that are either trying to break 4 minutes or 4 hours for the marathon, or under 2 hours for the half marathon, all the way up to a sub 2:30 for the marathon distance. So those are more catered. They're much more in-depth. They're video tutorials that, and the courses themselves conclude with a 16-week training program where you know exactly what you need to be doing on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis to prepare for your half marathon or marathon event. But again, if you are an athlete that is either a 5K to marathon specialist, you want a training program that's either as short as 4 weeks or as long as 16 weeks, then the training programs are best for you. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel in terms of how to train for a marathon. I think that you can succeed in this event, but it does take time. Again, think back to planting a seed. You want to plant the seed, you want to put in the easy mileage, you want to build up to a point where you can do repeat miles, you can do those hard tempo runs where you're holding your heart rate up at around 165 to 170 beats a minute, closer to your anaerobic threshold, the point where we start to build lactic acid in our bloodstream. You want to train at that effort, because the longer you can extend your anaerobic threshold and sustain at that effort for a longer period of time, you're going to build your strength and your stamina for the marathon. The endurance aspect is very important too. So you do want to build those easy miles. You want to pay attention to your recovery, where you're running very easy and relaxed on your recovery days, where you disregard pace. You're not focused on what your kilometer splits is or your mile split is on your easy days. Enjoy those days. Allow yourself time to back off and to recover from those hard efforts that you've been putting in on the track or on the roads. On those anaerobic workouts, those repeat miles or your repeat Ks or those hard fartlek efforts that you're on, on the trails, focus really hard on those days and allow yourself time where you're training faster than your race pace or at your race pace, or maybe 20 seconds slower than your race pace. That's closer to around your anaerobic threshold. Spend time at that effort too. If you do all these things and you focus on your nutrition, coupled with your recovery, hydrating well, especially your nutrition, it's another big aspect of success. How to prepare well for a marathon. You want to pay attention to your nutrition. Invest in yourself. I'll leave a link below this video. I have another site that I've created called nutritiongeeks.com, where I talk about Herbalife nutrition. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely check that link out as well. But nutrition, your mindset, visualizing yourself succeeding, seeing what you're wanting yourself to do and to start and finish the marathon distance successfully and to cross the finish line in the type of time that you've been envisioning, you want to spend time mentally training as well. If you're brand new to the channel, I welcome you, and my name is Nate Pennington. I'm the founder of RunDreamAchieve.com. I've been running for about 28 years, and I'm a former member of the U.S. Army World Class Athlete Program. And definitely, if you're new, click on the subscribe button, click the bell icon, and give me a thumbs up. Share this video with anybody that you know that's preparing for a marathon or who's training for the 5K all the way up to the marathon distance, whether they're a beginner or they're an elite level athlete. Share this video with them. And I have numerous other videos here on the channel that you can check out. RunDreamAchieve.com. I've written about 600 posts on there. I continue to add content on that weekly as well. So there are a lot of resources here for you, and I appreciate your attention, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video, and I wish you the very best in your marathon training because I know you will succeed at it. Just stay persistent, continue to focus on what you're wanting to do, back off on those recovery days, and continue to push hard on those hard days. That's why we get out there and we put in that effort. We want to make the marathon effort feel relaxed, more control, and you get to the finish line in the fastest time possible. So I wish you guys all the best, and I'll talk to you in the next video.